Well, every year in February, we recognize Heart Month.
That's right. And this week, Dr. Henry Sadlo, an expert in heart health, is here to talk about the best ways to keep your heart healthy. And first of all, thanks for being here, Doctor.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
We want to talk about what's called coronary calcium screenings. And it's interesting because our friend Tony Vanetti, who works over at WHS Radio, has come in here and talked about his issue and his heart attack that he had.
Yes.
And he had this, is that right? And what do we need to do? Why is this important?
There's three things. Number one, know and slow. The coronary calcium scan, which is an inexpensive CT scan, will tell you whether you have calcified coronary plaque, hardening of the arteries, or not.
Okay.
And then you want to slow the progression. Number two, there's soft plaque and there's hard plaque. This tells us how much hard calcified plaque you have. And the soft plaque you can remove with diet, statins, and exercise. So that's very important. Number three, and the three things to remember, is don't ignore. And Tony broke that rule, but he lived to talk about it. Tony's a great friend.
Yeah, he's admitted
and he's doing spectacular.
Yeah, he is.
But he got lucky. We don't want everybody to depend on luck.
Okay, so let's talk about how does this test save your life, possibly save you from a heart attack?
So not everybody needs one, but most men over 40 and most women over 45 can benefit from one. Because what it does, it tells you how much calcified plaque you have in your two coronary arteries. You get a numerical score. It's done with a CAT scan, no IVs. Claustrophobic people can do it because it doesn't, and your head doesn't go in. And based on that, if you get a 0, you're lucky. Still stay healthy, but you're at very low risk. The higher your score, they can go up to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 6,900 is my record.
Oh, wow.
He needed bypass surgery. He was short of breath. He just thought he was getting older.
Wow.
Not everybody has chest pain. So you got to pay attention to shortness of breath and fatigue, unexplained fatigue.
So what are the treatments besides surgery, as you just mentioned?
So we try to avoid that, although we have some great surgeons that are a friend of mine. But number one is diet. But that'll only take care of about 20% of the LDL cholesterol. Statins are very important. Exercise is critical, and appropriate weight management. And then the rest you leave up to a higher power.
Good things to remember there, good things to remember there. Okay, so worst case scenario there. You talked about some things people can do. What if they are interested in this test? So where do you start?
The most important thing, it's not covered by insurance yet, it should be, but it's $99 out of pocket. For people who can't afford it, we have funds at UofL to help out people who can't afford it, which is great. But you get the test takes 90 seconds. We've been doing them at UofL for 10 years.
Wow.
Depending on your score, if you get a 0, primary care, or a low score, your primary care can take care of it. If you get a high score, you should see a cardiologist. You might need a stress test, you might need a heart cath, you might need a stent, and hopefully not bypass surgery. But once again, we have some great doctors at UofL that can help people with that. Dr. Gansel, Pawa, et cetera.
Dr. Sadlo, you're fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on, for giving us this important reminder every year. We really appreciate it.
And if we can save one person from a heart attack, this is all
There you go.
wonderful.
All right.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.